Earlier today, I sat down with Amazon CEO Andy Jassy as he settles into the World Economic Forum in Davos this year. This year, people are thinking about lots of things, but top of mind for many of us, including one of the world's largest retailers, is pricing pressure on consumers amid the Trump administration's tariff agenda.
Consumers have been pretty resilient. They continue to spend. They continue to shop. I think that wherever they can, they are trying to trade down in price. They are looking for bargains wherever they can find bargains. I see people a little bit more hesitant on the higher priced discretionary items. We have improved our speed of delivery so much that we have so many more people buying everyday essentials from us. It's amazing how fast that business is growing for us. I think that we'll have to see what happens on tariffs. We did a lot of pre-buying in the early part of 2025 to enable us to try and keep prices as low as possible for customers. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our third-party sellers did a lot of forward staging in our fulfillment network for the same reasons. And that supply has run out, in the fall. And so, you start to see some of the tariffs creep into some of the prices of some of the items, and you see some sellers are deciding that they're passing on those higher costs to consumers in the form of higher prices. Some are deciding that they'll absorb it to drive demand, and some are doing something in between. And so I think you're starting to see more of that impact. And we have so many items. We have hundreds of millions of items, and we have 2 million sellers, many of whom are willing to pursue different strategies in how they price. That are, Amazon's consumers overall, I think, have fared well. But, we'll have to see what happens in 2026.
What do you do once you run out of those strategies, like you said, like buying ahead, trying to do some of these things? Are there other levers that you can use to keep prices down?
Well, as much as we can, we're trying to work with our distribution partners and our selling partners to try to keep prices as low as possible for consumers. That is our focus. I mean, it has always been our focus, but especially in times of more uncertain economies or when there's changes in trade, our priority is try to figure out how to keep prices as low as possible. Right. At a certain point, because retail is retail's a mid-single-digit operating margin business. If people's costs go up by 10%, there aren't a lot of places to absorb it. And so we're going to do everything we can to work with our selling partners to make prices as low as possible for consumers, but you don't have endless options.
Let's talk a little bit about the jobs picture, because you did make some news last summer when you talked about how AI is going to be something that you think will eventually lead to fewer jobs at Amazon. That's a little different than the take we heard from Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan, who said that if JP Morgan is successful, he thinks they'll have more employees years from now, but they'll be redeployed in different arenas. Have you thought any more about that? Because when you did scale back with some of the employees, you said it was not because of AI.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was really, it was what we were talking about earlier. It was really around culture and being able to move quickly and have ownership. I think what I said was in the next few years, I could see our having fewer people than we had before. Some of that, a lot of that will be just our continuing to allow ourselves to move quickly, as it's important culturally and speed-wise. But I do think that jobs are going to be impacted by what's happening with AI over time. They're not in a significant way yet, but I think you'll see that if you just think about how AI and agents will enable you to do coding and customer service and research and analytics. Even just the idea of doing spreadsheets the way we've done them in the past, I think those will be pretty different. And so I don't think that wipes out all those jobs, but I think we'll still have plenty of people in those roles. And those people will start their jobs, each task they pursue, at a higher, more advanced starting point. All the rote work that we used to all have to do before we could get to actually the thinking work, a lot of that will be done by AI. So we'll still have people who will be able to invent quicker and more easily. But I do think that you won't need as many people in all those jobs that we've thrown humans at for the last 20 years. That said, I do believe we're hiring a lot of people now in AI and automation and robotics and our low Earth orbit satellite that we're building in healthcare. So we're going to have a lot of people and other businesses we're pursuing, and they're going to be brand new jobs that we haven't thought of. I mean, 15 years ago, there weren't jobs like cloud architect. Right. You know, I mean, those didn't exist. And whenever you go through any big technology transformation, you find new jobs. I think the same is going to be true here, medium to long term.